What is going on, people? So we got a new update for Epic 7, and this one is going to be known as the Ken update because he is getting a remake. And says Ken was assigned as an offensive unit whose power increased based on his max HP. However, he has been using Phoenix for a long time, and he has been using his basic skills during battle. After this remake, we have increased Ken's skill range and have given him more useful with his second skill, which allow Ken to be more useful in a variety of modes. So that's just his ultimate there. Let's look at what they got going on here. So they changed everything about him. So if you liked how he was, well, guess that's too bad for you. His first ability is Knockout. Attacks with a flurry of strikes, burning for 2 turns. If the caster is granted Vigor, damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's maximum HP. So, used to be this thing would deal more damage. He would attack multiple times based on how much fury he has, based on his his passive Blood Moon, and he would also have the ability to decrease people's armor with his knockout, because it was all mixed into his passive, so his passive was basically just knockout. So now instead of his Blood Moon passive that he used to have, he has Celestial Kick. And it's now an active cooldown of 3. Attacks the enemy with a powerful kick, increasing speed of the caster for 2 turns, with a 75% chance to decrease defense for a target for 2 turns. If the caster is granted Vigor, has a 100% chance to decrease defense of the target for 2 turns, ignoring effect resistance. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's maximum HP. So like I was talking about, this has replaced Blood Moon, and it used to be if you were at max fury, he would always decrease armor 100% of the time on his basic, so you could do that every single turn. And now you have a 3-turn cooldown in only 2 turns, so one of those turns you're not going to have this debuff from Ken. But he is increasing his own speed, which is very nice. That's a nice buff for him. And it also ignores effect resistance, which is nice. And everything he does now is damage increase proportional to his health, so obviously it makes more sense to stack health on him now. And his Phoenix Fury has also been changed. It is an active cooldown of 6 before awakening. We'll just talk about after awakening. Delivers a powerful blow with a flurry of strikes, stunning for 1 turn and decreasing attack for 2 turns, before granting Vigor to the caster for 4 turns and gaining 15 fighting spirit. Damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's maximum HP. Caster begins the first battle with 50 fighting spirit and gains 5 fighting spirit when attacked. So they kind of like took Blood Moon and just threw it into everything else that he's got going on for himself. So they moved the armor break from Blood Moon to Celestial Kick, and they moved the armor thing. They're saying they moved the armor pierce from his ultimate to his Celestial Kick, but that's not exactly the case because Blood Moon already gave him armor break. So they just took the armor break out of his ultimate all the way. He still has the stun, so that's alright I guess, but most things don't get stun. And he still has the attack down, so that's good. And it has 4 turns of his Vigor, so once you max this skill out, you'll have a 5-turn cooldown on it, so you'll be able to have Vigor most of the time if you can get himself the ability to cast his ultimate multiple times over and over again, which you're definitely going to want to do because Vigor is really important. Whereas before, Ken would have this problem where you would never actually want to ultimate with him because Blood Moon was so strong mixed with his basic that you would never want to do anything but just use his basic almost ever. And now you basically, the game is telling you you have to use his ultimate, otherwise you're doing it wrong. Also, you start the first fight in every round, every stage with 50 fighting spirit before it was 0, so it would take Ken a long time before he could actually use his ultimate. And if you wanted to increase it more, you would have to put him in a spot where he could get hit a lot, like have him as your tank, and he's not exactly a tank. And now they mixed that, which was his passive. Every time he got hit, he would gain fighting spirit. They just threw that on Phoenix Fury on the end of it. Alright, so let's look at this. So they changed this, and this shows you what his new stuff is. This is knockout before and after for actually leveling up the skill. Whereas before it was all damage boosting, now it is damage boosting, plus you actually will acquire 5 fighting spirit at level 3, which you're definitely going to want to grab, which is really nice because 5 extra fighting spirit will increase your ability to ultimate faster. And like I said, you're going to want to actually use that now. And Ken's passive skill Blood Moon has been replaced with Celestial Kick, like I said. And they have changed the upgrades from acquire +1 fighting spirit 3 times to now playing flat damage. So he should, in theory, do a lot more damage just because you have an extra attack. Phoenix Flurry has been added to the skill. And let's look at, they changed the upgrades for Phoenix Flurry here. Whereas before, getting this +3 consume -5 fighting spirit was almost kind of a waste of time because you never really wanted to use it anyways. And now they change it to -1 turn cooldown, so now you're definitely going to want to get this because of the way he works now, where you need that Vigor buff as often as possible, so you're definitely going to want to at least go to here. But Ken is my favorite character that I have on my roster, so I have already got this and quite a bit of other things. I've been upgrading him mostly for the whole time I've been playing. Side story, a small miracle ending. So we're going to be able to complete this small miracle event once the patch goes live. I actually kind of like this small miracle event. It was pretty cool. Additional hidden achievements can be completed. When stage 20 Northern Tyrol Square is cleared, hidden achievements will appear in Reputation. Read the hint and you will find a wish paper. If you make the wish come true, you receive extra red socks. These are extremely easy. All the last ones really made you do was grind a certain spot over and over and over again, and then you got it. It wasn't even hard. And also, this is pretty awesome. Serilia's challenge is coming, and this is the witch hero that was out in Korea, I think, for Halloween. She is an event character, so you're going to be able to get her for free. Event availability from 1.2 to 1.16, so you definitely want to grab her as soon as possible. How to clear: after clearing stage 6-1 of the Northern Wind Corner, go to the library, go to challenges just like usual. How to play: Serila's challenge is available in normal, hard, and hell difficulties. Higher difficulties will become available upon clearing. You have a chance to receive a 4-star hero Serila each time you beat her. Alright, so the rewards are EXP Stigma Gold will be rewarded upon challenge, and Charms equipment 4-star has a chance to drop. And she has a 3% chance in normal, 7% in hard, and a 20% in hell, so these percentage drop rates for her are very slim. It's probably going to take a long time to max her out. I plan on doing that though because look at this character. Look at her. She's amazing. She is my second favorite female art character in this game, behind Luna, who I'm also still waiting for. But since I don't go over anything that she does, let's go over what she does. Seduction is her first skill. Attacks with a flame of seduction, decreasing combat readiness by 7%. So that's pretty cool. She takes their speed away from them. Spirit Absorb absorbs the enemy attack, increasing attack of the caster for 2 turns before recovering health proportional to damage, with a 60% chance to decrease attack of the enemy for 2 turns. When the enemy is defeated, cooldown does not increase. I really like this thing. It does have 4 turns there. You can make it 3 turns. But I really like characters that heal themselves. And then she's stripping their attack, so she's doing even better for your whole team overall. Even if she doesn't need the healing, you can just make it so they do less to your team. And then she has Flame Kiss, swallows the enemy in a flame of Chatty, the magic lantern, with a 60% chance to inflict 2 burn effects for 2 turns. So I really like this character. We could preview the skills here. That would be kind of cool.
Chatty, time to work. So, you're the one I'll be fighting. Trust me. That sure looks tasty.
So she took away their attack and gave herself attack. That's pretty nice. Here's her ultimate.
I guess we need to bring this party to an end. Chatty.
So that is her
time to work.
New moves there. She's pretty awesome looking. Look at those jiggle physics. Reputation has been added to challenges, so they just moved everything. This is already in the game. So they just took them out of one spot and put them in another spot. There's not a whole lot else to go on with. Miscellaneous changes. Guide or Aether's friendship level no longer appears incorrectly. When clearing a stage and moving to the next stage, the arrange button now appears. When players tap the arrange button, they will be taken back to previous screens. As before, the transmission of the UI of the first hero on the list is no longer overlaps. Tenebrae no longer shakes from right when using skill Nightmare. So it's just random stuff there. And the battle maximum health in Monster and Abyss have been decreased by 5%, so their HP has been weakened. And rewards for the Labyrinth of the Raid of the Royal Capital now changes on a weekly basis. All players will receive the rewards in the same order regardless of which part of the raid they complete first. After the weekly reset, new drop items will be decided for the coming week. So, guess you gotta, if you really want something, you're gonna have to wait for it or make sure you go all out for it. One more thing I want to mention here about Ken. Ken used to have Soul Burn on his ultimate, and now it is on his Celestial Kick. So, if you're wondering about that, that's where it is now. He no longer can increase his ultimate's attack with Soul Burn, which I don't like. Also, once the patch goes live, the Morgula challenge will be replacing the Goblin Gold challenge, so you definitely don't want to forget about doing this. And that is the whole update. I will see you guys next time.